Hi, I'm Chef David Jahnke, and today I would like to show how to make a beautiful creamy mushroom soup. And in that case, we want to choose some of our fresh picked wild mushrooms, but of course you can make that with any kind of mushroom. And well, let me show you how to do it. For our recipe today, we are going to choose some wild fresh picked mushrooms. Right now I'm located in Mexico and I'm actually living in a semi-desert climate. I'm living in the center heart of Mexico. But we have mountains around us. We have, like, for example, the Guanajuato, which is like from our state mountains here. And it's about 1 hour and 20 minutes away. And I can actually switch from the desert, semi-desert, to an oak forest. And I do found lots of varieties of mushrooms there. Of course, you have to know which ones are edible or not. Some are very poisonous, some are just uneatable, some are not delicious, some have no culinary value, but some of them are just delicious. And of course, there's many varieties of them too. There's over 2 million of mushrooms we registered, and well, a small percentage of them has just like a culinary value. And we have to know which ones if we're going to pick them. You can buy, of course, purchase or lots of different books for mushroom picking and mushroom guides to take them into the forest. But anyway, none of them will have all of the mushrooms you probably would see. And it's not just enough just to identify it by the books, because, well, you know, the color can change or the lighting, or it's very difficult. You have to have other sources. What I do, for example, I work with the local people and they teach you, they will tell you which ones they know from their parents or ancestors. You know, that helps a lot, and you learn about those mushrooms little by little, and then you adopt new mushrooms which you can pick now, no? Mushrooms are all over the world, you know. It doesn't matter if you're like in Asia, in India, and I mean, it's all over mushrooms. And we have morels in Mexico, the same as in Ilium, France, or in Germany, or it's the same here, and same in Canada, the same in the USA. So we do have opportunity to pick our mushrooms. Of course, there's a season, there's a fresh season for that, no? Which basically starts like in July and goes all the way here in Mexico, all the way to December actually, and some other places just like to November. And well, you know, what can I say? You know, I'm a big fan of fresh mushrooms. I love them. When I pick a lot, and then I take them and cut them in slices, put them in the sun to dehydrate, and then I have dehydrated mushrooms, different. All of them you can dehydrate, it works. You can also dehydrate them in a food dehydrator. And now I have I have dehydrated mushrooms all the rest of the year when I don't have fresh of the wild mushrooms, because, well, those mushrooms, they have a certain flavor. It's not like the farmed mushrooms, like the ones we see usually in the store, which don't have that flavor from the forest, and also nutritional benefits. No, mushrooms are very healthy. Of course, high amount is water, but there's also vitamins in there, including vitamin D from the sun. So, and also fresh mushrooms are umami flavored. It's glutamate, it's natural glutamate. And when we dehydrate those, then we have inosonate, which is now a different umami chemical, which is now, of course, seasoning. Those are great seasonings. So I also take my dehydrated mushrooms and grind them in to powder. So now I use that as like a broth, as a vegetarian broth, a vegan broth, or just to add flavor to anything, if you like mushrooms, of course, no? So that's just like, well, small detail about just in general mushrooms. Of course, there we could hours talk about in general just about the mushroom. Mushroom is its own kingdom. It's not a vegetable, it's not a plant, it's not an animal, and it actually goes more to the animal than to the plant, which is kind of interesting. And, well, let me just show you a recipe what we can do with those. So before we're going to start cooking, of course, we have to clean our mushrooms. Mushroom, high amount is water, and kind of the water does damage to them. And there's like some ones are very delicate, like this coral mushroom. So if I want to add some water to that, it would probably break down the mushroom and damage it into bad shape, no? So like we want to be very careful. And the best thing is, if we can, well, I would use a small knife to probably cut off the sandy part, very sandy part, and then just take a moist towel and basically take a moist towel and go below and try to take the sand off with the moist towel. Some of them, well, you can clean a different way. For example, this one here, well, we can actually pull off the skin. This is like in Boleto Frosty. and it has like a kind of like a sticky skin. But it's kind of delicious too. I mean, it's not necessary to take it off, you know, but just like different ways we can, let's say, prepare or clean our mushrooms. And of course, they're all different. They all can have different shapes and sizes. I mean, there's like so many of them. It's amazing. Here we have beautiful amounts, of course, and some of them even like would change the color when you cut them. Some will just like stay the same color as they are. For example, the frosty. That one here, if I cut this, it will change the color into blue color first. That's normal. That's a reaction because of the acids reacting with the oxygen. But after a certain time, that will go back and it will change back to just like a simple yellow color. Now you can see how it's changing into blue right now. So first thing we want to do, like I said, clean our mushrooms, get our mise en place ready, and well, then we are going to make our recipe. And well, let's start and show to cook, right? To prepare our creamy mushroom soup, we are going to use some of the wild mushrooms here. I'm going to mix them to have different flavors. You can use any kind of fresh mushrooms for that. I'm also going to use a few dehydrated mushrooms like morels and some of porcinis, and also some dehydrated mushrooms grinded into powder to get a very intense mushroom flavor. Some stock, you can use vegetable stock, chicken stock, beef stock, veal stock, or broth, it all works. And I have some butter, onion and garlic, condiments, salt and white pepper, milk, cream and some flour. Process, we're going to cut the mushrooms. We're going to start sauteing first, caramelizing the garlic and the onion with the butter. We add the fresh mushrooms to it. We saute them for a few minutes. We add the seasonings to it. We break in the dehydrated mushrooms, making it smaller because they're going to grow up a little bit. And then we add the liquid to it. Well, first, sorry, we have to add the flour, and to also saute that. It's kind of like making an roux with the flour and the butter here. Even we have the ingredients of it. No? So we want to fry that for 30 seconds more once you have added the flour, and then we add the liquid to it, cream, milk, and the broth. We let it cook for 5 minutes. Once it starts boiling, we take the half from that away and blend it and add it now back to our soup. And that way we have a beautiful creamy mushroom soup with also still some pieces of our mushrooms in there. So let me show you how to do that. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if yes, then please give me a like or subscribe to my channel, or both. I'm Chef David Jahnke. I hope you're watching soon again.